As Hurricane Melissa moves through Cuba, Jamaica has declared the entire island a disaster area. For more on this developing story, let's bring in CTV's Scott Hurst. Scott, as Hurricane Melissa continues its path through the Caribbean, the storm rocked Jamaica with its strong damaging winds and catastrophic flash flooding. Let's talk about the latest situation. What are you learning this morning?
Jamie, a significant trail of destruction in its wake, particularly for the island nation of Jamaica, as urgent search and rescue operations are now underway, trying to get to communities that likely cut off potentially for days as the damage has been extensive. You mentioned the Prime Minister declaring the entire island a disaster area. It made landfall as a powerful Category 5 hurricane right around midday yesterday with ferocious winds howling at nearly 300 kilometers per hour. Hundreds of thousands have been left without power. Schools, homes, and hospitals all impacted by the strength of the hurricane. And another important connection point, of course, are airports for the island nation, not just getting people in and out. Over the last 24 hours, CTV News has spoken to many Canadian tourists who are riding out the storm in Jamaica, but also airports are a critical lifeline for emergency aid getting in and out of the island. And so assessing the damage at those airports will be quite crucial. We have seen some initial assessments of the airport in Montego Bay that has been severely damaged. So we'll have to wait and see exactly how long it might take for some of these significant airports to be able to open to assist in getting people in and out, and also, Jamie, getting supplies in and out. But really, it's left a terrifying and significant trail of destruction. 8 deaths have been confirmed from the storm, 7 actually beforehand. But it is very likely that number will rise as search and rescue teams are able to fan out across many parts of the area. Some of the hardest hit areas, of course, with potential to see that number rise in terms of deaths. But also, as you mentioned, the storm having a significant impact in Cuba, as hundreds of thousands were evacuated to shelters ahead of the storm. But it has been bringing life-threatening storm surge and flash flooding and landslides, downgraded to a Category 2, but of course still leaving a significant trail of destruction, Jamie.
Obviously, getting aid to where it's needed most is always a challenge, especially with this kind of devastation. What's the latest on that when it comes to foreign aid?
Yeah, of course, we know the major organizations like World Food Program, Red Cross, and many others are positioned on the ground in Jamaica. Disaster response teams elsewhere doing everything they can to gather food, water, generators, essential supplies to send once conditions improve. And of course, Jamie, you know very well the Toronto-based group Global Medic offering assistance, compiling family emergency kits, food kits, including water purification capabilities, critically important in the first few hours and days before emergency crews might be able to get to some of the hardest hit areas. Here's more from Rahul Singh.
We've prepped all the kits so that we're able to respond, come in quick, be agile, be mobile, and then be able to install those units to get people clean drinking water right away. Because let's face it, you can only go a couple of days without clean drinking water. And then we spin up the rest of the teams and come in. And look, if it's a bad storm, we'll offer field hospitals in, we'll offer food programming in. We'll do our best to be there for the people of Jamaica like we have in the past.
So, Jamie, as we mentioned, the Prime Minister has declared the entire island a disaster area. Now, Jamaica's capital city, Kingston, was relatively spared the worst of the damage. But, of course, that is all relative in the big picture where there's so much devastation and destruction right across the island.
We appreciate that report. CTV's Scott Hurst, thank you.
Thanks, Jamie.